smooth on the map, never smooth on the map, never smooth. What you gonna do when you out, who you with, you ain't really about that, don't you? Really on the move on the map, never slip.
You are a big name. You got a big family name. You're a big guy. You're a big presence. I mean, you bring a punch to the political world. You're a councilman up in Lake County. I've been looking forward to this when we got it scheduled. You're a friend. I consider you a good friend, and just things that you're doing for our state has been fun to watch and to partner with you. So thanks for joining us. How you doing?
Doing great, Micah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This first time I've been in the Lieutenant Governor's office. What a great place. I love this building. It's been called a working museum,
Yep.
right? And it's such a cool place. Got to see a protester on the way in, which I was very impressed with. With the person's dedication to protesting, right? I mean, that's the First Amendment right, and it's always fun to see. And I always tell people when you come in here, this is a great example when you see the Senate chamber on one side, the House on the other, protesters in the middle. I always encourage people that want to get involved. Mm-hmm. Remember, the people inside those chambers don't necessarily hear you.
That's right.
The trick is to get in it.
Yeah.
Don't just stand outside of it.
That's good.
Get in it.
Yeah.
Get in the game.
Yeah.
Whether that's as a volunteer, a precinct committeeman, running for an office, all of those things have a huge impact on the system of self-government that we enjoy.
Yeah, I love it. I think I've told people the same thing. They say, "How can I make a difference?" I say, "Show up.
Yeah.
Show up. Get involved in your local party. Get involved in going to council meetings. Get involved in just the civic activity of your day." And it's amazing how quickly one door will open another door, and it leads to another door, and before long you may be sitting in one of those seats in the Senate or the House. And so
it takes that first step, and that's how the system was set up. It's the greatest system in the world. So happy to have the opportunity to serve in it as a county councilman, and before that as a member of a town council for 12 years, and before that a member of a redevelopment commission. So this is my 17th year in local government.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You have a music background. You were in a band.
Yeah.
You got a great voice. I hear you sing the national anthem all the time at different events. It's fantastic.
Yeah, some years ago I played a little bit with a country band when I was in Terre Haute, and open mic nights and things like that.
Got into bars before you were 21. How did you do that?
Maybe. I admit no wrongdoing. Well, a Stetson hat and a Gibson guitar opens a few doors.
Yeah, there we go. Right. Yeah, it depends on what the meaning of the word is.
And I'm not saying that I had any beverages while I was there.
I didn't say you did. I just, I love.
I won't admit to it.
The Gibson, and it opens a lot of doors, and I think I love that. I have Gibson guitars. We were talking about Gibson guitars before you came in. So, hey, so you're doing. I love the people of Lake County. I love the people of the region. You get up there, Porter County, and it's just LaPorte. Some of these blue collar, hardworking, amazing people. And I think what I've seen is like the ones that are in the fight, they really know why they're in the fight. They're not in the fight because it's some elitist country club or, I'm going to do this because, my dad did it or my, just rich uncle did it or whatnot. They're doing it because they really believe in what they're doing, and they're just salt of the earth, maybe rough around the edges a little bit, but like good people. And every time I come up to your area, it's just, I fall more in love with it all the time. And so talk a little bit about what's it like being on the council at a place like Lake County. I mean, we might look at it from the rest of the state and be like, well, Lake County, it's a blue area. It's not an easy place for a conservative to necessarily do business. But what's it like being up there?
I love it. I mean, I grew up there. I'm Lake County to the core, but I'm a conservative. I'm lifelong in that. That's how I was raised. We're in South Lake County, which is a little more disconnected from the machine politics that we see in Lake County. But working on the county council has been an absolute joy. It's my favorite job I've ever had in government.
That's great.
I love the challenge of it. Like when you're going toe-to-toe with folks of a different political persuasion and different perspectives, it teaches you a lot. It teaches you a lot about yourself, but teaches you a lot about other people too. And we're able to still get a lot of work done. We have people that are willing to work with us. There are problems in Lake County government, which we will go over, but my experience has been great. The constituency I represent is about 75,000 people. in South Lake County, and that's actually bigger than state rep districts.
That's crazy. That's huge.
So it's a big district. A lot of people, rural
Are you
communities.
at large then, or
No, so we each have districts.
You each have districts, okay.
So we run in our districts.
So
It's
that's
such a big county.
Okay, wow, that's incredible.
So
Yeah.
my district has most of St. John, most of Crown Point, all of Winfield, all of Cedar Lake, all of Lowell, and all of the unincorporated areas. So it's the largest land mass, and we all represent about 75,000
Okay.
people amongst the
That's-
seven.
I mean, what's the breakdown of the council? As far
5
as-
Democrats, 2 Republicans.
Okay, all right. How long have you been serving on the council?
It's my third year. Finished
okay.
up my third year.
Okay,
on the
so
council.
first term.
Yeah, first term
Okay.
on the county council. I say 12 years on the town council in Cedar Lake, 10 years as a council president there.
Okay.
So I became the boogeyman on a lot of issues, and they still like to make me the boogeyman once in a while. And then 2 years prior to that, a redevelopment commission in Cedar Lake.
Okay.
I kind of came to that in kind of an interesting way too.
Okay. Tell us your journey into politics. So how did you get into politics? What's like, when you felt the call, okay, because, sometimes you got to be a little crazy or, maybe you just, people are always asking me like, why in the world would you do this? And it's got to be a pretty intense personal conviction or call to really kind of step into this. So what was your journey like?
I mean, people think logically it's because my family's been involved and civically engaged and public servants for a long time. That's a part of the story.
Okay.
Right? So my great-grandfather was a German immigrant, came over, I want to say it was late 1800s, early 1900s. Had 11 kids. They settled between Cedar Lake and Crown Point in Lake County, and I still live in that general area.
great.
Right?
Yeah.
So we've got deep roots there. And my great-uncle Fred, my grandpa's older brother, became a county councilman, then a Crown Point city councilman. And the county council seat that I occupy, Fred actually occupied at one time. And then his brother Ernie ran for county council and won it. And then Ernie also became a state senator and then finished as a county commissioner.
Wow. Okay.
And
All Niemeyer name,
Yeah.
right? So that name kind of
Yeah,
goes
so-
back. Okay.
Rick Niemeyer's Ernie's son.
Okay.
Rick is a state senator now in
Yeah.
that same district that Ernie served in.
Yeah.
But Rick was a township trustee before that, an assessor. My dad serves on a township board in Hanover Township.
Yeah.
I think he's going on his 4th term. My grandfather, who had an 8th grade education, was a township board member and a party leader. But that wasn't really the thing that inspired me. I learned about politics through that. If you go to a Niemeyer family reunion, you would think you just stepped into the chambers of the Senate here. We actually have a family meeting that's run by Robert's Rules of Order.
No way.
Yes, I'm not kidding.
That's amazing.
We elect officers. We have a president, a treasurer, a secretary. We appoint committees. We have committee reports. We have a treasurer's report. We do minutes. Like this is
In a family reunion.
in a family reunion. So I became president.
Oh my goodness, this is hilarious.
Next time we have one, I'll invite you, and you'll be like, these people are nuts.
I'll sit in the gallery. I'll hold a protest sign up. I'll be the one protester.
And I'll yell at you. Because one thing at a Niemeyer reunion is we will all try to talk over each other.
Oh, that's funny.
Of who's right.
Okay, I love it.
And most of us are in the conservative camp.
Okay.
But so I was elected president of the family reunion shortly after Donald Trump's election the first time.
Yeah.
And I stood up and I gave a thank you speech and I excoriated my cousin, saying that we are not going to put up with this lackluster leadership in this family anymore, right? And we're going to make this family great again.
Oh my
And
gosh.
and we had a great time with it,
my
right?
gosh,
So we have a lot of
that's
fun with that. But even that taught me a lot
Yeah,
about processes.
Totally, yeah.
But there was one person in my life that inspired me more than anybody, and she was not a politician. It was my grandmother, who was married to my grandpa, Adolf Niemeyer, my dad's mom. And my grandma's name was Delphine. Her maiden name was Bremer, so another German immigrant family. Grew up in Hanover Township, where I grew up, right on the state line. She was a farm girl, grew up on a farm, and during the Depression, she was born in 1922, so that time of her childhood was the Great Depression.
Tough, yeah.
and they struggled on the farm. And she told me stories of her parents scrounging around the house for a nickel so she could have a hot meal. So she became a cafeteria worker at the age of 35 after she'd had 3 kids, and went to work at a local public school. And I forgot one office that Grandpa Adolph held as an 8th grade educated man. He was a member of the first school board in Hanover Township.
Wow.
So common sense goes a long ways, right? He owned 4 businesses too. And so going back to my grandmother Delphine, working in the cafeteria for 35 years, before the proliferation of widespread free and reduced lunches, she would take money out of her own purse and put it in the register so the kid could have a hot meal. 'Cause she remembered that as a kid, right? When she passed away 1 year after her retirement at the age of 71, I was 16 at the time. And really a tough thing for me because we were really close. People came through the line there, and we had to have 4 visitations. Over 1,300 people paid their respects to her. Wow. Just a simple farm girl, right?
That's incredible.
And the stories people shared with me was, I remember your grandmother put money in the register for me, and they've made a success out of their life, or whatever those stories were, those personal stories. I heard it over and over and over again those 2 days that we had those visitations. And it really made an impact on me. And I said, someday in my life, I have to figure out how to make an impact like that. She did it through just sitting, running a cafeteria, and when a kid needed it, she helped them.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
I kind of put a marker in my brain, right? It's like, bookmark it. I'm still a young guy. I'm going to go do young guy stuff, right? Yeah. So then you fast forward some years. I got married at 25 or 24, or what age I was.
You better figure that
25.
out, because you need to know how many years you've
Something
been married.
like that.
Your wife's not going to be happy.
My wife's a very lucky lady. She'll tell you.
She will, huh?
Oh,
She
yeah,
will.
absolutely. Very happy. She loves politics, too.
That's your, okay, that's probably, good. She can be president of the next family reunion. So there you go.
I hope so. But got married to my wife. We had family, 2 kids. Both my kids are adults now. But I was in my early 30s, and I got sick. I have Crohn's disease, and I went from 260 pounds to 160 pounds in about 6 months.
Holy smokes.
Right, I was really sick. I had bowel obstructions, had to have my gallbladder removed, went into University of Chicago for serious surgery to have parts of my small and large intestine, appendix all taken out. Wow. And I remember I was laying in a hospital bed, and it was the floods of 2008, if you remember that, up in northern Indiana.
Yeah.
I was on basically an island in Chicago. Nobody could get to me, no visitors, but they came into my room one night and handed me a DNR. Here I was, 2 young kids at home, right? It's 2008. I'm going on 32, and I'm thinking, man, I haven't done anything in my life other than work.
Yeah.
Right? I said to myself, I wanted to go make a difference. And at that moment, reading that DNR and kind of facing my own mortality, I said, that's it. Right? When I get out of this place, I'm going to go do whatever I can to get involved. And so there was an opening on the Redevelopment Commission in Cedar Lake. I went and signed up for it. The town council president, who was the former fire chief, appointed me to that. And then 2 years later, I ran against him. He was of the opposite party of me. So, but we're friends, right? And 2 years after that, I'm out handing out campaign pluggers for him when he was running for school board, which at the time was nonpartisan. Okay. So he and I had a great mutual respect for each other. And I'll never forget the night I won. He came up to me and gave me a hug, and he said, Cedar Lake won tonight. You're going to do a great job.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. That's very
But humbling. Going back to that story of my grandmother, she kind of instilled that in me. And I remember in high school, I also had a teacher who's now passed away, taught government class. And she sat me right in the front because she knew I came from a prominent conservative family in the county. And I was very opinionated as a high schooler.
No.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I don't believe that.
I don't know where I got it from.
Right,
Right?
yeah.
But she would challenge me when I would have opinions because she was more on the left to support my opinions with information.
Yeah.
And never just say, I think. Show me the evidence, right? And she taught me a lot about that. And when I was running for re-election for town council in 2014, I was at a candidates night that the student council of the high school I went to put on. And the one young lady said, Mr. Niemeyer, what inspired you to run for office? And I saw Miss Thompson sitting in the back there, so I pointed at her.
No way.
And I said, that lady in the back made me prove every time that I was right and she was wrong, because she was wrong every single time. And but we had a great relationship.
Oh, that's funny.
And when I ran for Congress last year, before she passed away, she was very, very proud to see me do it, and she knew I would. Right?
Did she vote for you?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to ask her.
Okay,
but
all right.
I think she probably did.
Okay, all right.
But we became good friends and close through that. But I had some people like my grandmother and Miss Thompson that really inspired me to do something that was bigger than just a title. So when I seek an office, I tell people the title of it has no meaning to me. Yeah. And when I was in D.C. exploring a congressional run, I met with Congressman Jack Bergman from Northern Michigan. Mm-hmm. Jack's a retired 3-star general. And we're sitting for coffee in the Capitol Hill Club, which, if you've never been there, it's
great. Yeah.
That's a cool place, right?
Very cool vibe. Yeah.
It's like out of a movie.
Oh, it totally is. Yeah. You're stepping back in time a little bit.
So we're sitting in the basement having coffee, and Jack looks at me and goes, "What's holding you back and from making a decision?" I said, I like to make a difference at what I do. That's always what's driven me, based on those values instilled by my grandmother. And he said, "Well, Randy, I've served in combat and I've served in Congress, and I can tell you they're both important service to your country." And he was looking me in the eye when he said that, only like a Marine general, former helicopter pilot can. And at that moment, it struck me. Like, okay, this makes sense. And it weaves into everything that I've been taught about service.
Yeah.
We really can make a difference, even when it's dysfunctional, even when it's hard. Our country deserves to have us answer the call.
Yeah.
The perpetuation of this great system of self-government needs people to answer it.
Yeah.
And so I answered it, and didn't win this last run, which will always stick with me, because before that I was undefeated in elections, including my 5th grade election for mayor of our mock city.
That's great.
I bludgeoned my opponent, but
metaphorically speaking, you didn't really kill him. So
yes, I did not kill anyone. But
you can edit that out, right, Graham? Oh, shoot.
But no,
Jessica's back there. We're like, oh, just give me a PR nightmare. Oh,
I still have that bug, right? I still have that desire to make a difference.
It's awesome.
And do something significant, so that when I pass from this earth, my place in it will be is that someone will look back and say, when he was called, he stepped up.
Yeah.
He answered it.
It's good, man. I love it. Yep. Powerful. Yeah, thank you for running us through. I hope that resonates with people, just, because everyone's called to make a difference. And don't think you have to wait until you're, accomplished, you've got, wealth or whatever. No, you can start today. Wherever you are, with whatever God's given you, you can start today. And I think that's a fantastic story. I want to get into a little bit you would prove things to Miss Thomas, right? Like you'd have to show her.
Thompson.
I'm sorry, Miss Thompson. And so one of the things I've really respected about you is anytime you come at an issue, no matter how divisive it is, you're always bringing the facts. And so we're going to get into this here in a second, all these green stacks here, because this is fantastic and it needs to be addressed. But I want to talk about redistricting real quick. You've been a big-time proponent of redistricting. You put together a really good op-ed in the Northwest Times, right? I think is what it is.
Northwest Indiana
Times, yep. And I remember talking to you, and you sent me it over. I was like, man, this is so good. List the why, not just I think, or I just want to follow President Trump just because. It is a literal just roadmap of what has been going on, where we are today and why we need this redistricting desperately. So hit on that, briefly, and just kind of tell people the why behind redistricting. It's not just following President Trump. Look, President Trump is right, and we should follow him in this, but what's the reason?
Yeah, I mean, when I started in this, and I actually, my team could tell you that I started talking about this last year.
Okay.
Because I felt like there was a missed opportunity here in Indiana to really put things on the map that made sense for every district, including mine, which is not a far left district.
Yeah.
We've always kind of felt misrepresented there.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Before I started campaigning statewide, I always had in my mind Lake County, super far left.
No.
Like Lake County, Marion County. And it could not be further from the truth. I mean, you're nothing like Marion County. It's amazing.
Even the folks on the left in Lake County, most of them are traditional Democrats, right? And
a lot of them love God.
Yeah, absolutely.
They, have a heart, of service. They, a lot of sometimes more conservative values in some ways than even people on the right.
You're not wrong.
And I have to be
You're not wrong.
Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, so I wanted to dive into data.
Yeah.
Right, and really take a look at it. And the first thing that struck me when I was researching it was the 2020 Census Post-Enumeration Survey. Mm-hmm. They call it the PES. That's what the Census Bureau puts out after the census to kind of audit its own work.
Yeah, right.
And they found that there were anomalies in 14 states that
all, I would imagine, swing states?
Not all swing states.
Okay.
But some red, some blue states, and some red states were overcounted.
Okay.
Some red states were undercounted. But the totality of impact, Texas and Florida lost 3 seats. Rhode Island and Colorado should not have kept seats, but kept them. So it was a net loss of basically 5 seats for the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And so I said, all right, boy, that's curious. Let me dive into this further. So I started doing my research, and I said, wait a second. There is something going on here. If you go back through really the 2010, 2020, and now looking forward to 2030, there's been a power play at play for quite a while by Democrats to utilize the system to dilute the voices and votes of those in this country who are eligible or will be eligible to vote. And I think that's an important distinction to make, because it's not just voters, but it's citizens and people who will be eligible to vote. So I started researching it. I came across the Equal Representation Act authored by Congressman Chuck Edwards from North Carolina in 2024. And in that, very common sense legislation is the citizenship question. Are you a citizen or not? Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean you're not going to be counted. Mm-hmm. Right? It just means that you're drawing a line in there saying that if we're going to truly represent the voices of the American people and people who are supposed to be here, then we need to undilute this system that, according to estimations, between 20 and 30 million undocumented immigrants live here in this country. And every congressional seat's about 760,000 people. And you start to do the math, and you find that about 1/10 of our Congress is being diluted by folks who should not count towards apportionment. Now, we all know the Constitution says you count every person. But never in our history did we have 4 years where you had a presidential administration that was completely ignoring federal law, and you had states and cities adopting sanctuary laws, which by their nature are unconstitutional because they're usurping federal authority. Yeah. So there is a true constitutional basis for this. And I said, all right, we've got to figure out how to tell that story.
Yeah. Because the constitutional basis is count every person. Mm-hmm. And so when the left hears that, they get as many illegals in here, flood them into certain districts, count them, and now that adds to the number of congressmen in that in Congress, and Democrats will largely be the winners of those districts. You're saying, okay, count them, but just make sure we separate out the citizens from the non-citizens, and then you apply the apportionment of citizens to the number of those in Congress. Is that kind of what that bill does?
In a nutshell, yes.
Yeah.
And what it does is it counterbalances states and cities that broke federal law in the adoption of sanctuary laws that created the incentive to break federal law and the most important duty of the federal government, maintaining the sovereignty of the country.
Yeah, that's right.
So there is truly a constitutional basis. There's a need for it. That's why it's important this year to do it.
Yeah.
Because if this gets to 2032, I tell people, you don't have to wonder what will happen because they've already told us. The next time they're in control of the government, D.C. and Puerto Rico will be states.
Yeah.
They will use that to pack the courts. Once that's packed, they will pass every unconstitutional law that usurps the 10th Amendment, the enumerated rights, and the states' rights every chance they get, including drawing of maps through the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act that has a provision in there that creates standing in court for lawsuits if anyone feels that they deserve redress due to some sort of discrimination. So it's a very dangerous, slippery slope.
Is that the VRA, is that what's being heard right now in the Supreme Court with Louisiana?
So John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act was a piece of legislation that the late John Lewis authored before his passing that is an addendum and an add-on to the 1965 VRA.
Okay.
And the add-ons are even more overreach of federal government into the
States
legislative process of drawing maps,
Yeah.
because as we know here, the map drawing process is a legislative process that's governed by law. It is not just pull it out of the sky, right? You're following the process here that has been outlined in law and the state's rights to do so.
Yeah, that's right. So here we are now in Indiana. The governor literally today, this is probably going to air down the road, but at this moment, as we speak, the governor just called the special session. So we will be going back into session here. The Constitution, state Constitution, gives us this authority. You see any constitutional hiccup from a state perspective for us to redraw in the middle of a census time? So right now, we're doing it not on every 10 years. How do we see that?
10 years isn't anywhere in the Constitution of the state.
All right.
It's tradition.
It's tradition. Okay.
And I'm okay with upholding traditions.
Sure.
And listen, there's some people that still need to be convinced. And I've had lots of conversations, and I'm not angry with people who have perspective. But what I try to do is just communicate with them what I communicated with you is there's not just a want to do this, there's a need. And it's not just about power and control, it's about correcting an intentional attack on the systems of government by the Biden administration, namely, but before him, the Obama administration.
Yeah.
So again, this is to me not as much opinion as it is going back to Ms. Thompson's class and saying, okay, prove it.
Yeah.
So that voice was always in my head when I was spending hours, sometimes late at night at my kitchen table, doing my research and saying, all right, how do we communicate this?
That's great. I love it. So obviously, all goes down to elections. This is the bedrock of our constitutional republic is that we get to vote, and we trust that our vote is being counted accurately, fairly. One vote for one person, and now I argue we've got to redistrict partially because drawing of maps is the only way states have a vote in Washington. We got rid of the legislatures picking the U.S. senators, which was terrible through the 17th Amendment, which is a terrible amendment, should be repealed. But once we gave that up as states, really, the congressional maps are it. I mean, that's all we have as a state to make our voices heard. But as individuals, we trust, hey, I'm going to make my voice heard, my vote, one vote to one person. Pretty simple. Now that brings in Lake County, okay? You're on the council. All of this right here.
Yeah.
Okay, explain what is going on from an election standpoint up in Lake County, because there's some, we'll say some shenanigans, maybe as a nice way to say it, going on. You're uncovering it, and we want to help get the word out because we believe here on Unscripted, sunlight is the best disinfectant.
Absolutely.
So what's happening with all this?
Yeah, so when I became a county councilman in early 2023 is when I took office and was not looking for any trouble.
Yeah.
Right? That's not what I look for, opportunities to serve. And when I do see things that are wrong, let's put these out in public. So when we discovered there were some potential issues in the election and registration office, we said, all right, let's present this to the public in a council meeting, which I did as a councilman. In Lake County, our council's a little different than some other councils around. We're legislative and fiscal, and the commissioners are only executive in Lake County. So it's Lake and St. Joe's have that makeup.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Right,
Yeah.
so we have the ability to actually have subpoena power too, which I'm not interested in getting in, playing a lawyer. I play one on TV once in a while, and in a council meeting from time to time, but Plan Commission especially. So we discovered that in February, in preparation for the upcoming caucuses of each party, the Office of Elections is a political office. You have half appointed by the Republican chair, half appointed by the Democrat chair. So that's just its nature. It's in statute.
Yeah.
It's in code.
Yeah.
And so when we held, Republicans, we held our caucus off-site, rented a space, did all of it. The Democrats hold theirs on-site in the Commissioner's Auditorium at the Lake County Government
In
Center.
a public government facility.
Right, which isn't as much of a problem because the commissioners went through the process to approve that agreement.
Okay.
That was transparent,
Okay.
not arguing that.
Okay.
But during the setup of their caucus, which happened during normal government hours, they had Democrat workers within the elections office setting up their caucus on government time. They weren't taking vacation time. They're getting paid by the taxpayers to set up a political
go do party work.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is a violation of all Lake County HR policies. It's a violation of law. And we've seen people go to prison for that. And in Lake County, George Van Til, a great example, where he was the former county surveyor and had workers in his office stuffing envelopes for him and sending out fundraiser tickets while they were getting paid by the taxpayers.
Wow.
You can't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the standard we should have, is the Republicans in the building and Democrats should not be doing party work on government time, ever.
Because most people don't recognize that the party is a private, nonprofit entity. It's not a government entity.
Correct.
And it is a little screwy because even our primaries, the whole state will do a primary for two non-government parties. I've always had a problem with that because I just think that it's not fair. That's a whole nother issue. But you have taxpayer money funding two parties to run their whole primary nomination system, and so it gets real. We just don't want public money being used to fund these. Yeah.
So I presented that to the county council, handed them all the evidence. We had gathered we took screenshots, which are in here, of the security cameras to show when these things were taking place. Amazingly, the security cameras going to the auditorium.
Let me guess. Weren't working?
Yeah, right.
Shocking.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Oh man, it's like I couldn't have seen that one coming.
No.
So. Was there a little bit of like a black spray paint going across it right beforehand? So
who knows what happens sometimes at Lake County? But again, to get back to not speculating, right? Because and I'm not mentioning any names here. I don't want to make any accusations against anyone that's innocent until proven guilty. So my desire is to not see people get in trouble or face criminal charges, but it's to correct the problems.
Yeah.
And so we dug in a little further and found out that over 3 election cycles, they were paying election inspectors, which in Lake County are all appointed by the Democrat Party because the Secretary of State's vote determines that. Every 4 years when there's an election, the vote for Secretary of State, if you vote for a Republican with more votes, then the Republicans get to appoint the inspectors. And if you vote for the Democrat candidate, the Democrat Party gets to appoint the inspectors. So that's all statutory too. So we found cases over 50 where people did not attend the training for the inspectors and got paid the extra $40 for the inspector training. That's a part of not just state statute, but local governing codes within our election division state that you have to attend the training to collect the $40. So I said, well, that's ghost payrolling. You're paying someone, I don't care if they've been an inspector before, if you're paying them for the training, they should have attended it.
Yeah, sure.
And it says in our own policies, you have to attend it in person.
Okay.
And the excuse we got was, well, they watched a video online. Well, how do we know that? Well, there's nothing to show that they did.
Okay.
So in my mind, that is purely abusing the system and ghost payrolling. Now, there is a provision within statute, it's in Title III of the Indiana Code, about an election board being able to waive the requirements in certain cases for training of inspectors if they've met certain qualifications, if they've been an inspector before, those sorts of things. That's sensible. Well, we couldn't find any record of the election board taking any action to waive that requirement, so they're paying people for parts of work that they didn't do. The public deserves better.
Yeah.
Right, now we go on to present time, and this has been an issue that's being tried. We're trying to address it. There's a Democrat worker in the office who shows up at 7 a.m. every day. No Republicans are there. Now, again, I'm not accusing him of any wrongdoing. I know this person's a nice guy. But showing up in an election office, having access to a ballot room, having access to everything in the office.
By yourself.
Yeah. That leads to a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And that same person is also in charge of, on a daily basis, when there are absentee ballots to be sent out, he goes to the post office by himself.
Whoa.
With no Republican there to look over it. And we're being told that the Democrats run the elections in Lake County, and we have no right to oversight of that. And what that stack represents is a collection of evidence to say, yes, we do have a right to that. There is so much there.
Things like political work on government time, ghost payrolling, time clock issues, Chairman Niemeyer press release, Kevin Smith cancels meeting, government property for political purposes, SRVs.
SRVA.
SRVS. Absentee ballots, partisan activities on the floor. My goodness, accused political activity against the the AD there. Wow, you got political actions taken by the board, even. This is all evidence that these are thick. You got the evidence. Okay, what's the problem?
Well, we've sent it to Secretary of State's office.
Okay.
I've sent it to State Board of Accounts to look at the financial issue part of it. We also have another thing we sent recently to Secretary of State's office, which is there is 2 separate occasions where Democrat workers in the office registered a non-citizen to vote, and that non-citizen voted. So when people say that there's only one instance of it in the state of Indiana, it's nonsense. There's a lot more of it out there than what you think.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't get talked about much.
Yeah. You've got illegal vote in 2022 election. Is
That's
that
the
what?
one,
Is that the one? Okay. Highland P.O. Box registered voters. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was that 16, 17
Yeah,
voters?
there's a lot of, I want to say it was around 20.
20,
in
okay,
that
yeah.
neighborhood of voters that registered in Lake County at that particular P.O. box. And
Was
we
it
don't
like
even
a
know,
UPS store or something?
right, we don't even know how many more there are, and that's illegal too.
Yeah.
And what we get in Lake County, since it's run by the machine, is just a total lack of care about these things.
So when-
you have to send it on to the state.
When you have a registered voter at a P.O. box and they request an absentee ballot, it's a live ballot. It's going out. And so you can assume that those P.O. boxes are getting opened by somebody. Ballots are being filled out and then mailed back in. And you really have no clue who really is voting.
A way to prove residency,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
But part of that was also state law not creating enough clarity. And since then, that has been clarified and there's more teeth in it. So those are things
Because that
we
was in
have to look at.
2022? That all, if I remember correctly?
It's
wasn't-
happened every election for years.
Oh,
yeah.
geez. Wow. So, I mean, this is amazing, and you're so detailed.
Again, Miss Thompson.
Miss Thomas, I was going to say, she did a good job. I want to find that teacher and shake her hand because she's a saint.
And you and I talked about things like utilities and SCA1.
Yeah.
And I've sent you stuff on that. I'm a very detailed person when it comes to not just complaining that you don't like something, but let's figure it out, right? Let's do the hard work of actually legislating solutions, being solution-oriented. And that's how I am with this. Again, I don't want any personal attacks on any one person. We want the procedural problems fixed.
So who has the authority to call this out, to bring justice, to fix this? I mean, obviously, I think the election board or the election office could do it pretty quick, right? The council could probably take action if they wanted to, I would imagine.
They could, yes.
Could the Secretary of State, could a statewide official come in and say, we're fixing all this? The Attorney General's office, is there any, or is it really
I've sent this stuff to the AG. He forwarded it to SOS investigations.
Okay.
Again, when there's no action taken on things that could be of criminal nature, then the state police have to take it. If there's things in federal laws that relates to immigration, that goes up to the DOJ. I'm hoping that we can handle this locally and clean it up, but it's not looking like there's cooperation to do so.
Does the state have the authority to come in and make it right?
If there's criminal behavior, yes.
Okay.
If it's just procedural stuff, that's self-government.
Okay,
right?
so that's all local.
And that's where the voters' responsibility comes in to hold people accountable.
That tends to be, I'm glad you brought that up, and maybe we can end with this, but that tends to be the biggest friction point that I find with voters in Indiana, where they say, something's happening in my county or my city, it's not right, and they're right, it's not right.
Right.
And then they want the state, Indianapolis, the state house, executive branch, Secretary of State, Attorney General, Lieutenant Governor, Governor to come in and fix it. They even want the legislature to come in and fix it, right? And a lot of times we say, well, that's actually your job. I mean, you guys decided to do it that way locally, and if we apply a fix for you, the problem is that has to apply to all 92 counties as well, and it's not a one size fits all, which is the beauty in self-governance at a local level, but it's also kind of a curse sometimes too, because you can get away with a lot of probably shenanigans if you don't have good people in local office.
I explain it to people this way. In Indiana, we have two forms of self-government. You have the statutory, which is your townships, cities, and towns. And then you have the constitutional, which is your county and state. And within that, we have guardrails we have to operate within. And just because I'm a county councilman doesn't mean that I can go into my town and usurp their statutory authority. You have to take certain things up directly with the town council, but if there's a statutory issue, then that goes to your state legislature. But then the entire legislature has to apply it to thousands of cities and towns, right? It's not a one-size-fits-all solution all the time.
Although,
there's plenty of...
Oh my gosh, I tell you what.
There's plenty of carve-outs that we see, right, Micah?
There was a bill just the other day, I had to say, it was a bill for a specific town, and the way they got about doing it is they say for any towns that are over 100,000 people, but under 110,000 people.
We have lots of those Lake County laws like that.
And then come to find out, there's only one place in the whole state that fits that mold right there.
We have a lot of those 450, less than 700,000, which is only Lake County, right? So that stuff kind of cracks me up.
I think at this point we just need to be like, guys, stop with the charade. Let's just call it like it is. You're writing a law specifically for Lake County. Just say it, okay? We all know it. Just say it.
Stop BS and let's just tell the truth to
That's
people.
right.
And tell why.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it meets constitutional muster, then pass it.
Great.
If it doesn't, then it doesn't.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, Randy, your story's incredible. You're serving people well in Lake County. Thank you for what you're doing. If people want to get a hold of you, learn more about you, because you're going to be, you're going to be a political figure in Indiana for years to come, Lord willing. I mean, I think you've got a really long, bright future. How can they find you? How can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'm on all the social media platforms. Obviously,
are you on MySpace?
Yeah, MySpace.
You are?
No.
Well, then don't say it. You're not on all the social media platforms. Come on, Randy.
Okay, Micah, are we going back to, is Britney Spears number one on the charts? Is that where we're at right here?
She should be. All right.
Her music was terrible back then.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Now, social media, you can find me. My county email address is niemrc@lakecountyIN.org. That's my government email address.
Hold on, I just blanked out.
NIEMRC.
I fell asleep as you were. All right, say it again.
At lakecountyIN.org.
Google it. Just Google it. If you're listening, just Google how to get a hold of Randy.
Yeah, again, I'm a pretty responsive public servant. I always return phone calls. If you call the county council office, the ladies there in the office will always send messages to me, and I always return your call. And I return on my own cell phone. I don't block my number. I'm a lot like you in that I don't mind talking to folks, even when they're upset with me.
I think it's more fun.
I enjoy the process of self-government. I'm honored to be a part of it. And I think that is the least we can do is connect with our people and be honest with them.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Randy. Well, thank you for what you're doing. Keep up the good work. And
you too, man. I appreciate it. Keep working hard.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It is. It sure is.
Yeah,
It's a great privilege.
Yep.